when Officer Daniel Hayes' loyal canine partner, Rex, suddenly began barking uncontrollably at the casket during his funeral. Confusion swept through the mourners. The German Shepherd, usually calm and obedient, refused to quiet down. His frantic barking grew louder, his behavior increasingly erratic, as though he had lost all sense of control. No one could understand what was happening, but it was clear that something was terribly wrong. Despite the police chief's reluctance, the officers present decided that the only way to calm the dog was to open the casket. As the casket lid was lifted, a collective gasp filled the air, followed by horrified screams. It wasn't Daniel inside. His mother collapsed, crying out that the body in the coffin wasn't her son. Family members recoiled in shock, unable to comprehend the reality before them. Meanwhile, Rex, the once agitated canine, suddenly grew calm, confirming that his instincts had been right all along. Daniel's funeral had drawn a large gathering of grieving family members, colleagues, and friends. Among them was Rex, who had been Daniel's dedicated partner for years. The two had met in 2017 when Daniel joined the sheriff's department. Having always had a passion for dogs, he immediately applied for a position in the canine unit. That was how he was paired with Rex, a 3-year-old German Shepherd who had lost his previous handler in a fatal confrontation with criminals. Officers warned Daniel that Rex had struggled to work with anyone else since the tragedy. Despite this, Daniel was confident he could build a bond with the dog. At first, their relationship was distant, marked by a lack of trust. However, that changed when they were assigned a mission to locate a missing child. Throughout the search, Rex began to recognize Daniel's determination and courage. By the end of their shift, Rex curled up at his new partner's feet, a silent but profound gesture of acceptance. From that day forward, their connection deepened, and over the next year and a half, they became an inseparable team, solving numerous cases together. Then came the fateful mission that changed everything. Daniel and his team were deployed to intercept a dangerous gang of armed robbers. It was supposed to be a straightforward operation, but they were outnumbered. A fierce gunfight erupted, resulting in several officers being wounded. Daniel was among them. He suffered critical gunshot wounds, losing a significant amount of blood before medical teams could reach him. Another officer, also severely injured, was taken to the hospital alongside him. Tragically, one of them succumbed to his injuries upon arrival, while the other was placed in an induced coma due to the severity of his condition. In the ensuing chaos, a devastating mistake occurred. Their identities were switched. The medical staff, overwhelmed by the emergency, mistakenly declared Daniel dead, believing that the officer who had perished was him. Rex, who had also sustained minor injuries, recovered quickly. However, his spirits seemed broken. Losing a partner once had been painful enough, but now, history had repeated itself. He was brought to Daniel's funeral to bid a final farewell, but as soon as the ceremony began, his demeanor changed. He became restless, sniffing the casket before barking wildly. His distress was undeniable, yet no one knew what to make of it. The police chief hesitated when asked to open the casket, reasoning that Daniel had suffered severe facial injuries. But Rex's unrelenting protests forced their hand. The moment the casket was opened, the horrifying mistake was revealed. Daniel's mother was the first to recognize that the body inside was not her son. Chaos erupted as the truth dawned on everyone. Officers immediately halted the funeral and rushed to the hospital, demanding answers. The truth was soon uncovered. The mix-up had been a result of extreme disorganization in the emergency room on the night of the incident. The officer who had actually died had been mistakenly identified as Daniel, while Daniel himself had survived, undergoing surgery and being placed in a coma. No one had thought to verify the identities properly. The hospital staff could only offer their deepest apologies to both families, acknowledging the grave error they had made. A few weeks later, Daniel regained consciousness. The road to recovery was long and painful, but he was alive. When he finally returned home, his first visitor was Rex. The moment the dog saw him, he leaped onto his partner, his tail wagging furiously, whining softly in recognition and relief. Daniel, overwhelmed with emotion, wrapped his arms around the loyal canine, whispering words of gratitude. Without Rex's unwavering devotion, the mistake might have never been discovered in time. Though he was heartbroken over the loss of his fellow officer, Daniel knew he had been given a second chance at life. He owed it all to Rex, who had refused to accept what everyone else had believed to be true. From that moment on, their bond grew even stronger. Once Daniel had fully recovered, he and Rex returned to duty, proving once again that their trust in each other was unbreakable. Their story became a testament to the extraordinary loyalty and intelligence of police dogs. It also served as a powerful reminder of the importance of thorough identification in medical emergencies. Most of all, it was a story of faith, perseverance, and the unbreakable bond between a man and his dog, a bond that had ultimately saved a life.